All right, y'all. I just watched the first uh, event of Wrestlemania this year, and I'm 37 years old, and this is Wrestlemania 38. I'll be 38 soon. That's how I know how old I am. Nah, that's how I know where things are as far as timelines. Timelines are important. So I'm gonna just talk about WrestleMania 38. WrestleMania 38 sucked really bad until Cody Rhodes came out and took on Seth Rollins. That suplex bump to the outside was fucking off the hook. Caught my eye right off the bat. Cody Rhodes with some down south style wrestling moves. You know that snap suplex that he does. I mean, he's got a certain flair with this wrestling shit. A nice suicide dive to the outside. Seth Rollins flipped over a table. Uh, Seth Rollins inverted superplex off the top rope. Very well performed, man. I thought it was a shady move, but it was well performed. A Cody cutter. Cody hit him with the Cody cutter off the top. It was real nice. And out of nowhere, he hits the bionic elbow. He hits the punches in the bionic elbow for Dusty. And hit the crossroads to end it. Great match, you know. But like I said, 3, 4 matches before that, I was like, why the fuck am I even watching this? And that's just me being honest, man. I'm realizing now I have to just cut through the cookie cutter bullshit and cut through um, the senseless, narcissistic fucking style of the times. It's bullshit. It sucks. Um, Next up, we got the Kevin Owens Austin thing, and you know I don't know like what Kevin Owens is like in real life, but this scumbag gimmick is working with him. And then Austin comes out and he's kind of hobbling, but you know it's Steve Austin. Austin's doing donuts on a 4-wheeler around the ring. It's pretty cool. I like this better than I thought I would. Because, you know, to me, like, you know, Kevin Owens, like, never really got me. But now, like, after seeing this, I'm like, yeah, Kevin Owens is definitely over as a heel. I really like Kevin Owens as a heel after seeing this. So sometimes you just need that clinching moment, and I think that's what this was for him, you know. Um, Kevin Owens hit him with a tripod. Kevin Owens got thrown through a table on the outside. Michael Cole sounds awful. The smartphones in the crowd look satanic. Kevin Owens suplexes Austin on the concrete. That's pretty cool that Austin took a back bump on the concrete, man. A lot of back bumps by Austin and earlier on the show with Cody. You know that was a cool little flair, man, and whatever these things are, man, in wrestling, different styles. Um, Kevin Owens gets thrown onto a table that doesn't break. Austin's chugging beers the whole match, Sandman style. Austin drives him up on his 4-wheeler to the top, suplexes him on the ramp, and another one on the other side of the ramp. And then Austin's drinking his beer. I've realized that Austin was drinking his beer that he made, the Broken Skull IPA or whatever it's called. I'm gonna go get some, man. It made me want to drink. This match made me want to eat pizza and drink beer. Weird things that these guys are doing with this wrestling shit, man. You know, but Jim Ross's barbecue sauce is pretty good, man. It kind of makes me piss weird, but. It's like Austin. I'm watching the match. It's like Austin is 20 years older, but he's still from the generation X when it comes to the pro wrestling guys, man. And I can see how the way he's aging. You know, Austin's got to get in touch with one of his bigger fans, MC8 from Compton's Most Wanted, and he can see what he's doing nowadays. And maybe if Austin got on some MC8 shit, that would be a good thing for Steve. You know what I'm saying? I also have another idea for Steve and Mr. Mr. Hulk Hogan, if the money's right, I'll tell him the idea. You know what I'm saying? Um, with Austin, it's kind of like a sports player. It's like he can brawl and he's bumping, and his beer looks tasty. You know, I would drink his beer, but I'll put it like this: it's like Terry Funk. I think of Austin. If Austin was thinking like Terry Funk, Austin could have a pretty good run. If that's what he wants to do. Um, this whole thing with Jim Carrey and the Chris Rock Will Smith shit, like the way Jim Carrey has explained this, I'm starting to see it as a musician because I've done a lot of work as a musician. Um, there comes a time when it's like you've done enough, and you have to know when that time is, and I don't know, like I don't know what to say about all this going on. It's not just like one wrestler or one event or whatever 2 hours of TV every Monday night or whatever. But it's like it's like VHS and television in definitely the 80s. I don't know about the 70s, but definitely the 80s. It was just so right on with this wrestling stuff, that the only way this wrestling stuff can really do that again, the way that it once did it, is if the proper platform comes along and the stars magically align like they used to. Because I'm thinking about this stuff and I'm seeing like who's surviving the change of times and who aren't, when it comes to their businesses and their product, and it seems like Dr. Dre did a pretty good job at the Super Bowl, and it's been a real rough decade, rough 2 decades, when it comes to hip hop. So that was long overdue. Um, I always got to remind myself that when I'm talking about this stuff, like when I'm talking about like the black community stuff, like for me, I'm a hip hop fiend, so like I just love hip hop. I have to remember to like word that the way that I word that. It's like I really am like a hip hop dude, a rap dude. So all right, so Dre got through with the Super Bowl. Red Hot Chili Peppers just released a new album, and I really like it, and I really love this new video where he's running from the cops in it. It's pretty hilarious, um, and they've always been ahead of the curve with the times, but also they've changed a bunch of times and evolved as artists and musicians. And I think what we're seeing is that happening again now. They did that earlier in the 2000s, it was like Californication, so it was right before 9/11, and then they changed again after 9/11 when they were around that time when they dropped that album, by the way. Stadium Arcadium was off the hook, and then they did 2 albums during 2010s. Now they got their old guitar player back, John Frusciante, who's a fucking guitar god or whatever, a legend. And I don't know, man. It's just crazy, like where we're at as a society in 2022. Like I don't know. It just seems like it's this whole new technological, you know, occult, borderline, Masonic, or not borderline Masonic, but it just doesn't feel right to be going all the way for your dreams these days. It makes it seem like I mean I've done it. I've gone all the way with my dreams, and then I'm sitting there now, and I'm like, all right, I can do whatever I want with the internet, pretty much, with my dreams. But it's like it's just another carnival trick. But the proper platform has to come along. Like with hip hop, I can go back to the platform and do these DJ mixes and stuff like that, which has been really really fun and amazing to do. And I could conjure up the spirits that way, or conjure up the gods that way, the gods and earths. And with this wrestling stuff, I mean, you could do that with like VHS tapes, like make mixes with VHS tapes like the old days. I mean, that's possible. I don't know if anybody's really doing it. Like anybody really has VHS players, but like I said before, man, maybe somebody's got to start selling VHS players. You know, VCRs, DVD players. DVDs were a little off though, man. That's what I'm saying. Like VHS to DVD was closer, but not that close. The way it felt. I'm talking about like tonight. I was turning down the volume on Wrestlemania because it was just there was so much stimuli with all the people in the crowd, with the phones, with all the, how I say this, post 9/11 music, which is like all low frequency shit, all these cookie cutter lights, and it's just not it. It's just not it. It's missing the mark. And I'll say this with love to Vince because, like, I respect that Vince is going for his dreams and his vision and all that and riding the gravy train all the way, man. But it's like this. It's like if you can imagine the old ECW days and you could pimp out the arenas ECW style with Paul Heyman at these huge ass fucking shows, then you've already won. But you have to do it right, because this right here, this WW entertainment crossing paths with modern television, the all the off-centered, inverted, political and social issues. Like, for example, like, it still feels like too, it's like back in the day, the wrestling stuff always had a little bit of like a, people could make fun of you or something, because like, oh, it's like, guys fighting in their underwear or whatever. But it's like that's not even really what's happening anymore. But it's developed this new soft pussy ass shit. And what these guys are doing is they're putting their bodies on the line. They don't deserve to be presented this way to the whole world. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, you got to pimp out the whole scenario, the whole situation, ECW arena style, Heyman, and at the same time, it's like you got to cut all that crappy music out. You got to let the guys really fight, man. Like, people are pissed off, man. Like, let them ferociously fight each other and shit. Some of the moves and stuff tonight were pretty cool, though. I'll give it to them. I mean, with those matches, there was definitely something going on. And I'm not, like, trying to single out anybody from any of the matches that happened earlier on. It's not like that. It's not the workers' fault. It's the presentation. It's the horrible commentating. It's the cookie cutter presentation. I mean, it is cool to see people back at a venue, but it's like it's not being done right, man. It's like that should be like a miraculous thing that people are back and oh my god. But really, what it looks like is it's this new form of the Coliseum where you got a bunch of fucking people that have been manipulated by their fucking government the wrong direction because of fucking smartphones. It's a fucking disgrace, man. So please, y'all, and Vince, please, if you're out there, like, let this be the end of the Walmart era of this weird form of entertainment meets horrible TV. And I'm saying this like, this is, Vince, forgive me for this because I love you, but I'm going to say this. I'm going to go off the wall and say this, all right? Is television is so bad in 2022 that I'll actually watch this product. All right, so this is not a shot at the WWE. I know WWE's riding the gravy train all the way. I see what they're doing. But the rest of television, this is a shot at you. What the fuck are you guys doing? We had it so much better back in the day where you could just quickly fly through all these channels. You guys would make money, we'd be entertained. It's not that hard. All we need is the government to give us back our entertainment tree that we always ate off of and were inspired to live around but not live on as musicians and shit like that, as fucking performers, you know? Even sports athletes. Like, where did this thing go that used to be there inside of us all that made us not only want to do this, but able to really pull this off? And what it is it's not the fuck. That's what I'm trying to say. Whatever it was, it's allergic to that smartphone shit. It's the same shit that happened inside my body, man. Like, if you have a smartphone, it shuts down the old gods. It shuts down the fucking cool ass shit you've built up your whole life inside of yourself. All right? I'm going to leave it at this, and I'm going to say I love everybody, and it's no disrespect to anybody that I have to go this far to say all this. But with that being said, Cornette's been on to something, and I think I'm on to something. And I think WrestleMania, the Saturday night show, if I had to sum it up, it was a boring show with a couple matches that I cared about. And I think the reason why I care about these matches is it's the true tribe of pro wrestling still doing it. And Vince, if there's one thing that you get out of all this, man, please get this. You know, it's stick with the true tribe. Keep the spotlight on the true tribe of pro wrestling, man. All right, peace.